Are you passionate about media? Dreaming of telling stories that move the world? Whether you see yourself behind the mic, the camera, or the editing set, Majak is your launchpad. Journalist, content creator, filmmaker, photographer, digital media guru. Which one will you be? At the Media Academy for Journalism and Communications, Majak, we turn your passion into your profession. Get hands-on in journalism to break the big stories, digital media production to craft viral content, communications to shape messages that move millions, film and photography to tell your vision in every frame. With fully equipped radio and TV studios, modern computer labs, and pro-grade cameras, we prepare you for the real world of multimedia. Are you ready to make the headlines? Apply today. We are located at Bakau New Town. You can call us today on 53-31545, 53-31545, or 3725-053, 3725-053. You can email us at communications@majak.gm. Better still, you can visit our website www.majak.gm. Majak, your story, your screen, your future.
Hello viewers, welcome to Chapters Where Words Come to Light. I am your host Ibrahim Bojang, and today we have the honor to introduce a special guest to the show, a poet that has been making waves in the Gambian poetry industry as a starter. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Aji Ramu Sise, also known as RC the Paragon. Aji, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for that warm welcome. And then it's indeed a pleasure to be here with you today.
Okay, first of all, before we move into the show, we will want to know a little bit about you. Tell us who you really are, who Aji Ramu is, or who the Paragon is.
Okay, you already know my name, and then you know that I'm a poet. So apart from that, I am a student as well in the University of the Gambia, major in biology and minor in physics. Yeah, I want to be a biomedical engineer.
A biomedical engineer and also a poet.
Yes.
These are two great things that can move you to another level.
Sure.
Okay, to the first question, how do you balance your passion with your education?
Well, it's hard, I would say, because being a science student is very different from being a poet. So more like how I put it is that during my study session, I balance it with poetry. So it's more of poetry and then my studies. I do not forgo one for the other. So to balance these two, it's hard. So most of the time I would receive these messages saying that, Aji, you can't do it. I mean, science is very difficult for you, and then poetry is a complete different thing.
Sure.
So how I balance these two is that every day I study and every day I do poetry. This time I focus on my academic career, and then when I am more tired of reading and then everything is just too boring. So poetry, on the other hand, helps me overcome that overwhelmed situation that I am in. So that's when I dive into poetry, and then, yeah.
So it is safe to say you use poetry as a means of overcoming your stress.
Yeah.
But then how did it start, the whole poetry thing?
Well, it started when I was in grade 6. I didn't start writing then. I didn't even know what poetry is. So that is when I was introduced to poetry. So at some point I felt, no, this is not for me. So when I went to grade 8, that was when I met Justice, the activist poet. So he taught me how to write. I learned how to write through him. And then that is when I realized that poetry is something that I could use as a shield to vent out what I have, my own feelings, and then the feelings of others that they can't express. Since I am empathetic in nature, so I could feel how they feel. So then bringing those emotions, even if they can't say it, then I could write it down for them to know, for them to understand that there is someone out there who could feel what they are feeling.
Okay, During this career or during your journey in poetry, have you ever participated in any competition?
Well, yes, I participated in competitions. Like I've participated in online competition, and also offline. I would say the slam, National Poetry Slam competition, and then I'm a finalist in that competition too.
Okay, but have you ever recorded?
Yeah, I do record. From I guess grade 10, I started recording poetry. So
Okay,
and then the first piece I shared, which I recorded, was The Best War Student. So that piece was, I wrote that piece for all the setbacks, not just for myself, but every student out there who is termed as a nobody. And then to the teachers too, who would blame those students who just lack motivation instead of just forwarding their education like that.
Okay, you've wrote many pieces or many poets, many poems, many lines, stanzas, and many other things. So, among all the poems that you've recorded or you've written, do you have any favorite?
Every poet has a favorite piece.
And we would love to hear your favorite piece as well.
Okay. So this piece is my favorite from 2025. Hopefully I have a new favorite in 2026, which I would write. Yeah. So the piece is Echoes and Choices. I love that piece a lot. I don't know why I love it, but then I love it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. They said the sun has set, like hope folding into night's cold hands. Darkness wears us like second skin stitched with silence. They clap for shadows. Call it truth. Blind to mirrors that reflect the lies buried beneath their very roots. It's like we've all agreed to bury dawn with our own bare hands, to raise the glass of darkness like dawn packed up and left. But wait, a small voice they whisper, not be so. Like a breeze that bends but won't break, it still finds a path through tight corners. Because even silence can shiver, even a whisper, when it holds truth, can tremble the bones of the loudest lie. The past still echoes like chains wrapped tight across our chests. They said we were born to break, but not to break free. I say lie. I choose to shatter silence, to wear truth out loud like thunder wear the rain. I chose myself, to stand where they expected me to kneel, to let the light I carry blaze, even when the sky tries to bleach my name, and to watch whispers fade like morning mist on mango leaves. You see, I'm not their silence, not their shame, not the version of me they prayed would stay small. My strength, it not be theirs to define. I'm not what they buried, I'm the bloom that grew anyway. Roots deep, petals defiant, reaching towards a sun they said would never rise. And with every rising sun, I will choose myself. Again and again, like a breath that refuses to break, like a name that refuses to die in their mouths. Then plant me like shame and I grow with pride between cracked earth. This race is not over. Not while I'm still standing. Not while these feet still born bold into the belly of the dust. And my name is Aji Ramusise.
Wow, that was so interesting.
Sure.
And viewers, we will allow that to sink in while we go for this commercial break, and we'll be back.
Are you passionate about media? Dreaming of telling stories that move the world? Whether you see yourself behind the mic, the camera, or the editing set, Majak is your launchpad. Journalist, content creator, filmmaker, photographer, digital media guru. Which one will you be? At the Media Academy for Journalism and Communications, Majak, we turn your passion into your profession. Get hands-on in journalism to break the big stories, digital media production to craft viral content, communications to shape messages that move millions, film and photography to tell your vision in every frame. With fully equipped radio and TV studios, modern computer labs, and pro-grade cameras, we prepare you for the real world of multimedia. Are you ready to make the headlines? Apply today. We are located at Bakau Newtown. You can call us today on 31545, 5331545, or 3725053, 3725053. You can email us at communications@majak.gm. Better still, you can visit our website www.majak.gm. Majak, your story, your screen, your future.
Welcome back from that break. You are reminded that you are watching chapters on Majak TV. And I am your host, Ibrahim Abojang. And the guest today is Ajira Musise, commonly known as RC the Paragon. We will continue from where we stopped. What inspires you to write that poem?
Well, that piece, I don't even know how I came up with the piece. It was one of the pieces I wrote in Poetry Slam. So this was the second round. We were told every round we should write a new piece. So after the first round, when I made it to the second round, I was thinking, we had just 2 weeks to write a piece. I didn't even know how I came up with this piece. Because I think it's common to most poets who write. So I was sad and then thinking and then trying to find inspiration everywhere. And then I thought to myself, why not I write about me since I can't find anything to write about? So that was when I sat and then reflect on myself, how everything has begun. Ever since I was born till today, everything that my mom went through, and then everything that I experienced from childhood till now. So that is when I thought of, why don't I write about self-identity? Because if you look at this piece, it's more of identity. And then people who try to break you, yet still, you remain resilient. And then you stand tall to remind yourself that you are enough. And then you don't need anybody to know your worth. You need just yourself to know your worth. Yeah.
So that was something else. But then how was everything, like the rewards of poetry?
Well, one may say that poetry is just a waste of time. You know, that's the thing that people would say. It's a waste of time. But then one thing is that poetry feeds the soul. You will not realize it until you are into it. I'm not saying when you are after it because fame, you want to get rich. You can't get rich through poetry. Yeah, that's it. It rewards the soul, and then it helps you feel, and then it is a language of the universe. Sure. If you look into it more, then the more you tend to get closer to it. It's like the universe is trying to speak to you with every line that you take. You will understand people. You speak for them. So even if you are not paid for it, but then the emotion that your soul is being fed is enough for me.
Sure. And then, so it's safe to say that it can be self-motivation, driven by self-motivation, and also motivating others. Okay, and then going to the next segment, which is the game segment. Like I usually say, my favorite part of this show.
Why is this your favorite part of the show?
Yeah, because it's where we test the skills of poets.
Okay.
Their reciting skills and also their thinking. You know, everyone has to have this way
and
of thinking.
And then poets are different too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this jar you are seeing we have cards that contains letters or words. So when you pick any word, you are going to start a line using that word.
Okay.
So there you go. Though I'm not a poet, but I think I will also shoot my shot today.
Okay.
There you go.
Faith.
What? Faith.
Let me see. So it requires just one line, right?
Sure. A line, a stanza, anything you could come up with.
Okay. The first attempt to impregnate my brain was a failed attempt, so you tried again. You tried again, but it didn't work, so persistent to grow in you, you still tried. Until then, the temptation was too much on me to ignore. Then I took on the stand, but only to realize that you were just there for a certain moment only, to disappear in the end, so I have to turn back and look at myself, my reflection, and then think for a second. Is this the path I want to take? Or do I require another path to take? So then I turned back and looked at a handsome guy staring at me deep in the eye and telling me, you know I'll always be here for you. Well, that's my faith. Thank you.
That's your faith. I guess I also have that kind of faith. Okay, coming to me, the best poet. Okay, mine is broken. Broken. I've been pushed. I've been labeled. I've been called a failure. But then, like I used to say, life isn't just painted in beautiful colors. It is from your broken soul that you pick up the rest, move on, and break whatever comes to your way. This is my broken record.
You didn't clap for me, and then me are clapping for
I am
you.
clapping for myself because
Okay.
that was the game segment. So, down to my final question. My final question is going to be, let's say, how the maths teachers will call it, a pregnant question.
Okay.
It will encompass 2 to 3, but then they will all be in one.
You know, I have a very poor memory. So when asking the question, you go segment by segment, okay?
The first one is, what do we expect from you next?
Well, I would say what you expect from me is the pieces that I shall release in 2026. And then the theme is already set. I should start releasing the piece. I've already wrote them. But then due to one or two things, so I'm not able to release those pieces. So the theme of 2026, that's when the belief forgets the believer. Yes. And then it is going to comprise of a lot.
When the belief forgets the believer. Okay.
Like when the one in power forgets the one who puts him in power.
Puts him in power.
When the creatures forget their creator. So it comprises of different topics, so which I shall explore from January till December, and then hopefully things go well. And it won't go well if I don't have audience. So everyone out there, make sure to follow for when the belief forgets the believer.
When the belief forgets the believer.
Yeah.
We can't wait to see or to hear what that is all about. And also, your final words. What do you have for your fellow poets and also people that are inspired by poetry and also those that want to venture into poetry?
Well, my final words to poets out there, keep doing what you do. I mean, the reward for poetry is way greater than money, way greater than fame. So it's more like you expressing yourself, and then you discover yourself as you go. Right now, I could say that I am in a journey of self-discovery through poetry. Even other means are there as well. So yeah, we keep doing what we do. And then to those who would want to venture into poetry, you start small. Do not look onto what people would say. I know critics will come. Because when I started first, there were a lot of critics. At a point, I said, I guess this is my end. But then every time I said this is my end, I would always find one reason to keep pushing. So just that one reason keeps me going. So you too. At the beginning, it may get overwhelming. Just go on with it. And then what I would say is that when starting poetry, make sure you learn about it. Know what poetry is, how to go about with it. If you want to focus on spoken word, learn about spoken word. Know about performance. I am still learning spoken word. I'm still learning poetry, I would say. But then know more about it. As you go, you get to discover yourself. You get to discover your poetry. You get to discover your strength and then your weaknesses. So that's what I have.
And also, I want to add one word to it. Read.
Yeah, reading is very important.
You can't just write.
Like every poet, I would not say every poet, but then every writer gets a source somewhere.
Sure.
You must have read a book behind, or then you must have watched a scene, or then you must have listened to a music. So there is always to find like inspiration. You don't need to find it. That's another discovery that I've made. You don't need to find it. It finds you through books, through novels, through anything that you see. Anything, even you can be my inspiration. The lights out here could be my inspiration. I am. This room could be an inspiration. So everything out there is an inspiration. So discover. through reading. Reading is part of discovery.
Sure.
So I would say discover.
Yeah, she would say discover, and I would also say read.
Yeah.
As when you read, it opens doors, it opens your mind. So viewers, this is all we have for you on this episode of Chapters. Don't forget to subscribe to our various social media handles on Facebook and TikTok, YouTube, Majak Official on TikTok, and also Majak on Facebook and YouTube. Till we come your way, thank you for joining us.